Transformation rarely comes from radical change. It's built through small, repeatable habits that seem boring, but quietly reshape your focus, identity, and energy, like compound interest for your character. In this video, we'll uncover 30 unexciting routines that don't just improve your life, they rebuild it from the inside out. 1. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. Think of sleep as the software update your brain installs nightly. Most people treat wake-up time like a lottery draw, so their mental bandwidth fluctuates daily. Instead, anchor your wake-up time, even on weekends. Once your brain trusts the rhythm, you unlock predictable performance, clearer mornings, faster decisions, steadier emotions. Here's the twist most people miss. Consistent wake time is more important than consistent bedtime. If you wake up at the same time, your body automatically adjusts when you feel sleepy. Within 2 to 3 weeks, your concentration, mood, and willpower stabilize so dramatically, it feels like a personality upgrade, not just a sleep tweak. 2. Drink water. Immediately upon waking, your brain wakes up in dehydration debt. Drinking water first thing isn't about hydration, it's about rebooting cognitive clarity. For maximum effect, prepare the water the night before and place it near your toothbrush. The friction change is microscopic, but the behavior consistency becomes automatic. If you've ever wondered why your mornings feel mentally sluggish despite sleeping enough, try this for a week. You'll feel like someone polished your brain with glass cleaner. 3. Take silent walks without music or podcasts. Walking in silence is a psychological detox, not from technology, but from stimulus dependency. When you strip away noise, suddenly your brain has space to think. This habit is the birthplace of original ideas. Creative breakthroughs don't occur while consuming, they emerge when your mind stops reacting. Silent walking turns your brain from input mode to processing mode, and processing is where wisdom is born. If you can't stand the silence at first, that's the sign you need it most. Discomfort isn't resistance, it's withdrawal from overstimulation. 4. Read a physical paper book at night. This isn't nostalgia, it's a nervous system strategy. Physical books slow your thoughts down to the pace of comprehension, helping your brain descend from problem-solving mode into rest mode. An underused trick: keep your nighttime reading deliberately unproductive. Fiction, philosophy, biography, because if you read something that spikes ambition or strategy thinking, your mind won't let go. Physical books aren't an aesthetic choice, they're a neurological off-ramp. 5. Walk 10 minutes after meals. One of the simplest metabolic hacks on earth. A slow walk after eating is like sending a janitor crew into your bloodstream, cleaning up excess glucose before it becomes an energy crash. But here's the hidden benefit. Those 10 minutes act as micro-meditation windows, separating work blocks, family blocks, and personal time. After meal walks don't just stabilize blood sugar, they stabilize your day. 6. Wake up early for quiet time. The productivity benefit is obvious, but the deeper benefit is identity control. When you wake before your obligations, you reclaim authorship of your life. The real habit isn't waking early. It's creating a buffer between who you are and what the world asks from you. The quiet gives you narrative distance, letting you think about your life, not just live it reactively. 7. Brain dump journaling. Don't journal to reflect, journal to empty. Brain dump journaling transfers mental clutter into external storage, like clearing out RAM. A powerful twist: write without rereading. Rereading makes you judge your thoughts. Dumping and walking away frees you from them. Your journal becomes a mental trash can, not a scrapbook. And that's exactly why it works. 8. Make your bed. People think this habit is about neatness. It's actually about identity architecture. Making your bed turns your first decision of the day into completion instead of avoidance. The psychological win isn't the tidy sheet, it's the subconscious message: I follow through, even when no one sees. This mindset builds momentum you can feel in every subsequent task. 9. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Daily 5 silent minutes trains the emotional muscle most people lack: distress tolerance, the ability to feel discomfort without chasing distraction. Silence isn't calm, it's confrontation. You meet the thoughts you've been dodging. Over time, you don't fear boredom or melancholy or uncertainty. You develop emotional range, making stress less threatening and goals less intimidating. Silence builds internal weightlifting. 10. Set out essentials the night before. Decision fatigue starts the moment you wake up. Presetting essentials eliminates 1,000 micro frictions: keys, laptop, gym gear, clothes. This isn't organization, it's environmental design. You're turning your space into a silent assistant that nudges you toward the day you want. If you've ever said, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, and didn't, start laying out your clothes the night before. That's not preparation, it's commitment. 11. In a stretch for 5 minutes before bed. Your body accumulates tension throughout the day like plaque on teeth. Stretching before bed is brushing your nervous system. The real advantage? Stretching slows your breathing, and slower breathing signals safe to sleep to your brain. If you struggle to fall asleep, don't fight your thoughts. Relax your muscles. The brain follows the body. 12. Use a paper to-do list. Digital apps are designed for flexibility. Paper is designed for finality. When you commit tasks to paper, you reduce the temptation to reshuffle, postpone, or overplan. Paper limits options and limits forced clarity. You stop designing the perfect plan and start executing the imperfect one. The result isn't efficiency, it's completion. 13. Take the stairs whenever possible. This is a metaphor disguised as cardio. Every time you choose stairs, you reinforce a microscopic identity. I choose effort when ease is available. The physical benefit is cumulative, but the psychological benefit is is exponential. You stop waiting for motivation and start choosing micro-effort. Eventually, hard becomes normal. Effort becomes your default setting. 14. Delete unused apps regularly. Your phone isn't a device, it's an environment. And environments dictate behavior more than willpower ever will. Deleting apps isn't digital housekeeping, it's attention hygiene. Every removed app is one less doorway to mindless distraction, envy, comparison, noise, or advertising. Your best ideas aren't hiding in your phone, they're hiding behind your phone. 15. Embrace boredom instead of reaching for your phone. This is the habit hiding behind every other habit. If you cannot tolerate boredom, you cannot sustain growth. Boredom is where creativity brews, resilience forms, and patience strengthens. But most people numb boredom instantly, scrolling, refreshing, checking. Try this rule. When you feel the impulse to grab your phone, wait 30 seconds. That tiny pause rewires your dopamine loop. Over weeks, you stop chasing novelty and begin generating depth. Deep relationships, deep work, deep thinking, none survive without boredom tolerance. 16. Review your calendar nightly. Most people wake up and improvise their day, relying on motivation and luck. But pros reduce randomness. A nightly calendar review does two things. First, it eliminates morning friction. You know exactly what to do before your brain has the chance to negotiate. Second, it primes your subconscious overnight. Your mind rehearses tasks while you sleep. So in the morning, execution feels like deja vu instead of resistance. Action. Before bed, open your calendar and reorder tomorrow's tasks from hardest first to easiest last. You'll wake with purpose instead of panic. 17. Put your phone in another room overnight. Scrolling before bed hijacks your hormonal balance, but the real problem is subtler. Your phone destroys mental originality. Thoughts formed before bed shape identity. If the last thing you consume is noise, your identity becomes reactive, not intentional. Framework. Phone near bed equals reactive mornings. Phone far away equals proactive mornings. Action. Charge your phone as far from the bedroom as possible. If you rely on alarms, buy an analog clock. If silence feels uncomfortable, that's a sign your inner world needs space. 18. Do one thing at a time. Monotasking. Multitasking isn't modern, it's medieval. It fragments attention, drops output quality, and builds anxiety loops. Monotasking is a quiet superpower. You give one task your full bandwidth, finish faster, and preserve emotional stability. Deep work isn't intensity, it's absence of interruptions. Action. Set a 20-minute timer. During that window, no tabs, no phone, no switches. Train your brain to hold attention like a muscle, and within days, tasks feel half as heavy. 19. Check your bank balance. Money anxiety usually comes not from lack of money, but lack of awareness. Checking your balance daily isn't about restriction, it's about clarity. You spot leaks you didn't know existed, subscriptions bleeding you dry, or emotional purchases disguised as rewards. Psychological win. Daily awareness turns money from a fear into a feedback loop. Action. Each morning, check your balance and ask, does my spending reflect who I want to become? This single question builds financial consistency better than budgeting apps ever could. 20. Eat the same breakfast daily. Decision fatigue accumulates before most people reach work. Breakfast consistency is an identity shortcut. You eliminate one trivial decision and stabilize blood sugar early, which keeps focus sharp. Counterintuitive insight. Stability is freedom. You don't lose creativity. You gain energy for things that matter. Action. Pick one nutritious breakfast and automate it weekly. Let routine fuel creativity, not replace it. 21. Gratitude practice. 1 to 3 items daily. Gratitude isn't emotional fluff. It rewires your threat detection system. We're evolutionarily biased to notice danger. Gratitude rebalances perception, so progress feels achievable rather than overwhelming. Twist. Don't list big things. List minutia. Warm water, clean clothes, light through the window. Small gratitude sharpens attention to daily joy. Big gratitude numbs it. Action. Each morning, write 3 micro-gratitudes. Over time, problems still exist, but they no longer own you. 22. Write 3 daily observations or thoughts. This builds observational intelligence, your ability to notice yourself. Unlike journaling for reflection, this is journaling for awareness. It helps interrupt mental loops because you externalize instead of ruminate. Expert level tip. Don't try to be profound. Document the obvious. Over weeks, you'll detect patterns you didn't know controlled you. Action. Each night. What did I notice? What did I feel? What did I ignore? Awareness reduces anxiety by reducing ambiguity. 23. Meal prep on Sundays. Nutrition consistency is rarely about willpower. It's about convenience. Meal prep transforms food choices from impulsive to intentional. It ends the what should I eat debate and frees mental energy for work, relationships, or creative pursuits. Action. Prep 3 lunches and 2 dinners every Sunday. Not everything, just enough to remove decision chaos. Consistency beats variety when your goal is transformation. 24. Start investing. All amounts consistently. People delay investing because they wait for more money. But wealth doesn't come from occasional big investments. It comes from boring consistency. Compounding isn't math. It's time married to patience. Identity shift. Investing is not about money. It's a vote for your future self. Action. Set a recurring monthly auto investment. Even $10 counts. The amount isn't the transformation. The habit is. 25. Clean Clean your desk, workspace before bed. A messy space is a silent tax on cognition. It pulls attention, increases cortisol, and muddies thinking. By cleaning your workspace nightly, you start mornings neutral instead of overwhelmed. Reframe. This isn't tidying. It's resetting your operating system. Action. 5-minute nightly tidy. Throw away paper. Reset pens. Clear cups. Your future self will feel like someone left a gift. 26. Use a 24-hour rule to limit impulse buying. Impulse buying is emotional regulation disguised as shopping. The 24-hour rule inserts a buffer between desire and decision. Psychological reality. Most purchases don't satisfy needs. They sedate discomfort. Add items to a 24-hour list, not your cart. If you still want the item after 24 hours, buy it guilt-free. You're not restricting spending, you're restricting compulsion. 27. Strategic course completion. Instead of random learning, endless tutorials don't build skill. Completion does. Random learning feels productive, but leaves you scattered. Strategic learning follows a learning arc. Start, complete, apply, repeat. Expert perspective. One completed course with implementation beats 10 started courses with zero execution. Before starting any course, write the answer to, what problem in my life or business will this course solve? If you can't answer, don't start. 28. Wash dishes immediately after use. Dishes aren't about cleanliness. They're about identity. Leaving dishes is permission to delay. Washing immediately is proof you finish. Small completions compound into self-trust. Whenever you eat, wash the dish right after. You're not building tidiness. You're building internal reliability. 29. Do things slowly on purpose. Speed is addictive. We rush through life not because we're busy, but because we're restless. Slowing down increases presence, reduces errors, and improves emotional regulation. Counterintuitive benefit. Slowness teaches control. When you control pace, you control attention, and attention is the currency of mastery. Choose one daily routine. Brushing teeth, walking, eating, and do it intentionally slower for 60 seconds. Your nervous system recalibrates from urgency to presence. 30. Keep a running list of gift ideas. All year, this habit doesn't just reduce holiday stress, it strengthens relationships. Thoughtful gifting signals, I see you. Tiny notes across the year accumulate into emotional memory. Action. Create a notes file titled Gift List. Write down small preferences, favorite snacks, books mentioned, colors worn. When celebration arrives, you don't scramble, you deliver meaning. You don't just improve habits, you become someone trustworthy to yourself. Transformation is not fireworks, it's embers burning daily. If any of these habits click for you, make sure to like and subscribe and tell me below. What's one boring routine you're ready to commit to this week and why? I want to know what resonated.